Hey guys, Joe here, doing one on the phone real quick. I am at the office and I am at the table, but I left the camera and the mount at home. Today we are taking a look at something that was provided by Liberty Arms, so do me a big favor, hit them up, say, hey, I'd like to get me one of those, and they will hook you up. They're down in Harrisonburg, Virginia. You have to Google them. I'm not allowed to put all that information there. To the point of this video, are you interested in CZs? Are you interested in the CZ75? Are you interested in the myriad of clones and other manufacturers' versions of the CZ75? Well, for your viewing edification, I have a TriStar CZ75 clone called the... Takes them 8 hours to get it out of the box. The TriStar S120, because this is the stainless version, in 9mm. Let's go ahead and drop the mag before I mess with the tag. Show you that she is clear. Yep. And we will take the tag off. Now, these are imported by Canik. That's why the box says Canik all over it. Originally, I believe these were imported by SDS, but now they are imported by Canik into the United States. This one is a aluminized, or not aluminized, it's a brushed finish. It's not a real stainless steel finish because this is actually applied to it, but it actually looks really nice. And as you can see, this is a direct copy of a CZ75 chambered in 9mm. Comes with 2 mags and a Canik speed loader, which they use for everything. These are Metgar mags, and I believe these are either 15 or 17 rounders. They don't like to put it on the front of the mag or the back of the mag or on the side of the mag or on the round of the mag. But anyways, these should be 15 or 17. I'm going to say 17 because of how long they are. Round magazines, double stack. This is a hammer-fired handgun right there. Kind of a lost thing. Also happens to be all metal, so she's a chonky boy, but that's really good, especially in something that's only shooting a 9mm. Having a little bit of heft to it really helps. Has the traditional CZ style grips. Not 100% sure if they interchange. I believe they do though. It has a single screw there, so you can get like the aluminum plates or the CZ Shadow plates and put them right on there. Standard controls, you have your slide lock, slide release right there, and a manual safety. It is not a decocker. I know that some of the 75s can be equipped with the decocker, especially like the SP01 variant. This is not one of those. Just a standard cocked and locked arrangement. Stops the hammer when the safety is on. Does have a half cock, just like a standard CZ. And what that does, and we'll talk about it in terms of the trigger pull, is lighten the pull. So here it is, double action to single action, so it does double or single action. And you can see that it's all the way out. Very CZ-like trigger as well. I bet you the Omega parts drop right in. But very heavy pull, probably in the neighborhood of 10 pounds. But if you half cock it, you can see it gives a lot of take up. It's still heavier than single action, but you have about half the travel necessary, and you have an obvious place where the trigger wants to stop. So you can just let your finger rest there between shots if you're at the range. Then when you pull it, it is lighter. It's probably a few pounds lighter, probably in the 7-pound range. However, if you completely rack the slide or cock the hammer like I just did, you get a much shorter pull. So you can see double action half cock, single action full cock. It comes all the way back to there, and again has a very obvious wall, so you're not going to accidentally pull through it and discharge your firearm. Reset, just right where the break is. It comes right back out, audible, tactile, all that good stuff, and boom, right into the next shot. The sights that are on this guy are the 3-dot white dot arrangement, which is fine. Should take all CZ stuff because it has the same CZ pinned in front sight and the standard almost Glockish looking rear sight. So you should be able to integrate normal CZ75 parts into it there. Nice mag release. Pretty heavy to pull, or push, excuse me. You don't pull a mag release. But drop-free mags, and that's nice to see. Comes with 2 for a $400 pistol. That's really good for an all-metal, all-steel gun with 2 mags and a case. That's pretty good for $410. I believe it's $410. I looked at this earlier. Yeah, look at that, 410 bucks. A standard CZ75 is roughly $200 to $250 more expensive depending on where you get it. Feel of the slide. A little gritty. You can hear it. Nothing a little polishing can't fix and cure though. The overall fit and finish of the gun, very tightly finished, very nice. And one of the main reasons why it has such a good tolerance and good fitment is because this has the CZ standard way of putting the rails inside the frame instead of having the slide ride on top of the frame with just rails on the outside. That gives you supposedly a lower bore axis, and it is slightly lower. Here, let me grab something real quick. I don't have a real steel 1911 on hand, but I do have my airsoft ones, and this is a WE Tech. It's an all-metal one, works just like a real 1911, has the manual safety, grip safety, all this stuff. So this is a one-to-one replica. And as you can see, it actually has about the same height. Triggers are about the same position. Overall height's about the same. So in actuality, you aren't getting a lower bore axis. What you are getting is a more stable slide in functionality, which is very good. You don't need a super low bore axis, especially on a gun like this, because your hand is plenty high enough. And since it technically isn't actually lowering the slide, you don't have to worry about hammer bite unless you have what I like to call super generous or fatty fat hands. Takedown is real simple, but before we do that, yeah, I know, I've already showed it like 10 times, but you pull it to the clear. It's best if you actually put your gun at quarter or half cock. They call that quarter cock actually, which allows you to bring the slide back right to the takedown notch. And then you can push out the pin on the other side, or that you can push out the slide lock slide release from the other side. However, it's a little difficult to do on a brand new gun. So while I babble at you, I was just putting it back. There we go. Just use the base of a polymer mag or polymer base of a mag, which will help you pull that off. And then all you have to do is go ahead and this one actually required pulling the trigger, which I didn't like. I'm going to try that again real quick. Let's put the slide back on. Okay, yeah, this one, the hammer does have to be down. I'll have to double check into why that is. It probably has something to do with the drop safety. We'll take a look at that in a minute. Spring comes out of the bottom. It is not captive. Be careful, that will go flying. Barrel comes out just like a standard gun. It looks very Glockish, but it does have locking lugs. It doesn't lock up on top of the ejection port. So this is Browning's design basically right there. Tilting locking action. However, this is a fixed link. It's not a swinging link. This, you can see it's a little bit wider along it. Being a gun that was imported, it does have your trades even on the barrel. Thankfully, they put them on the opposite side of the barrel so they're not visible all the time. Glock puts the serial number visibly on the barrel, on the chamber actually. Taking a look at inside of the slide, you can see very nice grooves. Drop safety back there. Technically, no. That's actually the disconnect part of the safety. So I kept saying drop safety. It's not a drop safety. Sorry. Nice flared end here, which gives it a little bit of a protection around the end of the barrel, as well as kind of fills it in. Look solid front area for your front spring. For those that have asked in the past, this is a dust cover. Its only job really is to have a place for the spring and everything to butt up against. However, this part of the material is there specifically to keep crap out of your gun. Taking a look at the frame, that's where the lower part of the barrel moves in and out. So that's braced, and you have full-length rails internally. So all of that works together to give you a really tight fit and a really accurate shooting gun. Trigger mechanism back here. Trigger bar activated. And it seems to be a pretty solidly built piece of kit, as they would say in England land. A little bit of front strap checkering, nothing on the back. You can get a nice set of wraparound grips or some Hogue grips or just some skate tape and make that better. It's nice to have some checkering or at least some vertical striations in the front. However, in terms of recoil, they don't do much when they're just vertical. So again, I would go with a wraparound if it was me. Reassembly is easy. Take your barrel, flip it upside down, slide it right in there. Not having to worry about a bushing or a plunger is always a nice addition. Take your spring, be careful. Again, she is not captive and she doesn't have a slot to fit in. It's just going to pop in like that. So push that in so that it's butted up against the link. Take the slide in the frame. You can more accurately or more closely see the fitment of the frame to the slide. Sorry, it's hard to do at a weird angle. And then you just simply slide it back. Once you've done that, then you can go ahead and come back to your standard mark spot. Interesting note, if you recall from that video, I did a Shadow SP01. I didn't do it, I owned one. And while I owned it, it didn't have any marks for the takedown on either side. Go ahead and test your firearm once you have it reassembled. Make sure she functions, and there you go. So what do I think for a $410 CZ clone? I haven't shot one of these, but it should be pretty good. I know that TriStar has been praised before for this gun, so I would be interested to see how it shoots. However, I'm not currently in the market for buying stuff as I have a few other irons in Defire. So if you want to buy this one, they have this one. They also have the black version at Liberty Arms. Google them, Harrisonburg, Virginia. Tell them Joe sent you. Put it in your hand. See if you like it. I think you'll enjoy it for the price. I'm out of here. Leave me any comments. Sorry, again, this is a one take on the phone, but camera's at home. I'm not, and that's all there is to it. So until next time, I'll talk to you later.